Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. Today, Fantasy Thursday arrives as we once more talk a little return of the old world. Now, I'm sure everyone saw the announcement of Total War Warhammer 3 and the rather awesome trailer, with Kislev going up against Chaos. And boy am I hyped for that. I am a huge fan of Total Warhammer. But as soon as I saw this trailer, I immediately thought back to those updates we received last year on the Warhammer community website, where we got to see development art for Kislev, confirming the return of the faction to the tabletop when it eventually gets released. No longer just an add-on to the Empire, Kislev now will be its own fully developed faction. So far we've seen the Ice Guard, the elite warrior women, adept with sword or bow, who, like their queen, can channel the elemental powers of the ice. And then of course the absolutely awesome concept art for the great bears of Kislev, the Bear Riders Cavalry. Now, if it wasn't enough that everyone instantly rolled a Kislev army in their mind the second they saw that trailer, just look at this art. Man, the Kislev force is going to be out of this world. So good. And now this does raise the question, is Total Warhammer 3 and the tabletop returning old world a lot closer tied in their development than we expected? Now, of course, I don't mean in a gaming sense. Like I said, it's more just about the development. It could just be a sheer coincidence, but more likely a bit of clever planning on GW's and Forge World's part. The reimagining of Kislev for the tabletop, when they are the face of Total Warhammer 3, the biggest and best Warhammer game out there, coincidence or not, is a very smart move. And we actually see all the same development art used in the interview with Mark Bedford, in the Designing Kislev and Cathay for Total War Warhammer 3 video, where he produced the art for Creative Assembly in the production of the game. So with the art of Kislev seemingly being used for the development of both the game and tabletop, both at the same time. And that then brings us on to the other announced faction for the new Total Warhammer. No, not the demons, but Cathay. Now, Cathay is essentially the Warhammer Fantasy version of ancient Imperial China, Great Wall included. But it's a land and faction we never got to see during the tabletop years, always being off and isolated to the Far East, only references within the lore at most. But now, for the first time ever, Cathay has been realised and fully developed. And honestly, with Kislev making the return to the tabletop as a full functioning faction of its own, it only makes sense and really is just a matter of time for Cathay to do so as well. If you watch the video, and I'll drop a link for you in the description, you see that this isn't just a few units being designed, but a full, rich and developed civilization and background, with mentions of its hierarchy being a surprise to a lot of people. With all this detail going into the development behind it, it is extremely unlikely this isn't going to make the transition to the tabletop as well. And again, this also ties in very well with the cartography update we received on the community website as well, with the reveal of the map being completely but faithfully reimagined. Because like I said, Cathay is a land never seen in any true detail before. How it's all going to work in the world of fantasy, we will just have to wait and see. But obviously Total Warhammer 3 will give us a good idea, as that's being released later this year, and the returning tabletop isn't expected anytime soon. And really, with this kind of development, you'd expect the Cathay army to drop with the re-release of Warhammer Fantasy, because there is most likely plenty of time before that release rolls around. But we'll have to wait and see. It is essentially two more or less new factions that have had to be designed and produced. But man, one thing is for sure, I am so excited for the return of the old world. It just keeps getting better and better. Just show me some Britannia art next time and that will put me straight over the top. Now we will definitely have to do some future speculation on just how Cathay will fit into this new old world of tabletop lore. They may have always been there, but they were never truly involved. There is going to be a whole new world of rivalries and campaigns to explore. Oh, you can rest assured my Knights of the Realm will be crusading to the Far East. But as always guys, what do you think? Did you decide to roll a Kislev army the second you saw that Total Warhammer trailer? Or are you more excited for the possible debut of Cathay to the tabletop? Or perhaps are you a little apprehensive about this new development for the old world? Even though, like I said, Cathay has always been a part of it, just never seen. It certainly does open up avenues for new rivalries. Chaos invading Cathay, Malekith and the Dark Elves raiding their shores, and really I'm just waiting now for the announcement of the Chaos Dwarves. Oh man, I cannot wait to see those guys. They are an old favourite. Don't let me down, G-dubs, bring back the Chaos Dwarves. But as always guys, leave your thoughts in the comments below, I love to read them. Huge thank you to all my subscribers, your support truly means a lot to me, it really does. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow. And if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.